welcome back to a new free live tutorial, and we're going to focus today on the fox moving hat. Yes, it has wiggly ears. It is it's adorable, it's very popular. The entire collection is very popular right now, which I'm really thrilled about. I can't wait to see so many moving hats this fall in winter season. Oh my gosh, these make perfect gifts for birthdays, for holidays, for literally any time around the year to make someone smile, including yourself. It is so cute. I just love them so much. And we're going to focus today on the fox first. Then we're going to transition into talking about all 15 of them. And then we have prizes at the very end. So make sure you share. If we get more than 100 viewers while we're here live, then we're going to give away 3 prizes, otherwise just 2. So the link is up here if you want to grab the ebook. If I haven't celebrated you yet for getting the ebook, please let me know so that way I can celebrate you, just like Louise. Look at you! Woohoo! I am so happy for you. If anyone has grabbed the ebook already and I haven't celebrated you yet, please let me know. Would love to do so. All right. So for the fox hat, first of all, I'm using worsted yarn pretty much for all patterns. The only one that doesn't use just worsted yarn would be the sheep, but that's a different pattern. We're focusing on the fox today. So that's worsted with a 4mm hook. So I'm not going to focus on the hat part itself because that's going to be the same as the witch hat that we have talked about in a mystery crochet along. So you already have a video tutorial for that part. Obviously the colors are slightly different, so I'll talk about that briefly, but we're going to focus on the outer ears, the inner ears, and the snout part of it with a little bit of an eyebrow situation. So we're going to focus on that today. That's actually the main one that we're going to focus on. For the outer and inner ear, I'm just going to start with it, and then the pattern just kind of repeats itself, so you'll see that in a second. So I'm really excited. Vicky says, I finally grabbed book 3. Let's go! Woohoo! I am so excited for you. Diana is asking, will they replay? All videos on YouTube have replays. I never remove them unless I specifically say so at the beginning. I haven't done that in a very long time. So whenever I go live, I will have a replay available for you. Let's see. Paula says, I got book 2 and 3 today. Woohoo, Paula! I am so happy for you. All right, let's swoop around so you can see what I see, which is the fox. Okay, so let's talk about the fox for a second. I have here 2 colors because this one has a color change, and I do want to show you how to do the color change. So let's talk about the basics first, okay? When you're doing the fox and you have color changes in it, remember the pattern itself for the hat and the beanie, the hat and the extensions are the same as the witch, pretty much same style. You can continue crocheting here on the side, or you're just going to sew it on after. It's up to you. I do want to point a couple things out, and I kind of did it over here so you can see it. I highly recommend not carrying your yarn. This is double crochet stitches. This is what happens when you carry your yarn. Do you see that? I just did it for a few rows so you can actually see it. On the other side you can't see that, right? So drop your yarn, pick it back up, so that way you don't see any color changes peeking through. Okay, I just want to show you here. I know I did that on my own, ta-da, but you can see it over here. There's no color changes showing through, so make sure you are dropping your yarn and picking it back up when you're doing any color changes. Okay, so for the colors, you can see obviously over here, you're pretty much splitting the entire pattern, which has 18 stitches, in half, right? And so you have 9 stitches in white, 9 stitches in orange, right? And down here, the bobble part of it, where the air pump is inside, that is just going to be orange. The same is true on the other side. And then we have a little fraction over here that is white over here, and the same is true in the back, where it's also white. So that way the orange kind of continues down, and think of like the white part is kind of all the way around. Okay, so now the eyes and the nose are very similar to each other, so one is extra round, one is a little less. So this would be a magic ring with 6 single crochet stitches, closing it off. That's it, all in black. And this one has an extra round, which is 2 single crochet stitches per stitch, and then close it off afterwards. And I added a little white line there to it, and then it's obviously sewn on at the end. All right, let's see, are there any questions? Belsey says, what if you are a member of the monthly subscription, will be able to access the patterns? No, ebooks are separate from a membership. So think of each product its own, right? A membership is separate from the ebooks. So ebooks are separate products. However, in case you do miss the coupon code in the membership, you always have a coupon code available. So no matter what, you can get the ebooks on sale. So that's a one really cool perk about being part of the membership, is because you can always get ebooks on sale. Okay, so in case you do miss this coupon code up there, you can grab it at any time after. Okay, this buffering problem usually has to do with your own internet connection, so make sure you have a good internet connection, so that way everything looks pretty on your end just as much as it does on my end. Okay, so let's see. All you have to do is kind of go out, come back in, and make sure you click the live button, and then you should be good to go. Okay, so let's first talk about the outer and inner ears. I'm going to do that in gray, even though this is, you know, a few different colors over here, and then it's sewn onto it. Okay, so first you do the outer ear in my recommendation, then you do the inner ear, then you sew the inner ear to the outer ear. Now, I could have done it with more color changes within the outer ear, but that would have been more, I would say, difficult, especially for those who don't like color changes. It also wouldn't have a clean line, which is why I separated it out. Okay, we want clean lines as much as we can. Okay, so let me move Mr. Fox to the side for a second, and let's grab the gray, and we'll start with the outer ear. I'm just going to show you the beginning part of the outer ear, because then you're going to start realizing that there's a repetition going on, and it pretty much just kind of repeats on itself with an extra stitch before, you know, you'll see in a second. Okay, so let's get started on the outer ear. Okay, Jay Sands, must be a Nikki Sand. No, it's not on my end, girl. It's not on my end. It's gonna be on your end. If she can't hear you, maybe hear me, maybe you guys can let her know. It is fine on my end. I don't have any problems on my end at all. So I'm even gonna turn one of the things off here just to make sure, but I should not have any problems on my end. I have a very, very fast internet connection. Usually if buffering is happening, it's on your end because of an internet issue or weather. Weather can affect your internet, by the way. Okay, let's focus on the outer ear, okay? So you're going to start with a magic ring. You're going to pull the yarn through, adjust it, and then put your ring finger in. I'm going to zoom in a bit because obviously I'm not far out yet, so it's better that way. Zoom in and you can see it a little bit better. Okay, you're going to make a chain of 1 just to hold the magic ring in place. It doesn't have any other purpose than that, okay? So it doesn't count as a stitch. Then you're going to add 6 single crochets to the ring. So let me just say it one more time, what I just mentioned earlier. I'm not showing the color changes here for the outer and inner ear, or it's just the outer ear. I'm just going to focus on the stitches itself, because the color change is just going from one round to another, and then there's a new color. Ta-da! So yeah. All right, so now once we have our 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're going to close it up, and you're going to use your yarn end as your stitch marker. At least that's what I like to do, but you don't have to if you don't want to. All right, so now we're going to go into the next round. So the next round starts with 2 single crochet stitches, 1 per stitch, so not together, it's not an increase, so 1 and another 1, so that means 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, and then you're going to have the increase. Okay, so now let's do this one more time because we have 6 stitches and we just used 3 of them, so there's 3 more left. So 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, and then it's 2 single crochet stitches after that in the same stitch, therefore an increase. So I highly recommend that you bend it down at this point, because otherwise you're working on the inside and that doesn't look right in the end. So I've seen some crocheters accidentally do that because they didn't realize that they're not flipping it. So make sure you flip it. You should be working on the outside, the right side of your work. Okay, so flip it around so that way you see the right side. The one that you're working on should be on the outside. Okay, so now move up that stitch marker. Okay, and now we're going to go into the next round. So now in this round you're going to do 1 single crochet in 3 stitches. Previous round was 2 stitches. Do you see the difference? And here's going to be 3 stitches. So every round that number increases by 1. Okay, so we started with 2, then an increase. Now in this round it's going to be 3 and an increase, and then you do this 2 times per round. Okay, so right here would be the increase. You can also just look where the increase was in a previous round, and then you're going to crochet an increase on top of that. Okay, that can help you too if you don't want to count your stitches. Now you do need to know how far you need to go, but in this case the pattern goes actually straight forward, so there shouldn't be any point where you actually have to count, as long as you put your increases on top of the increases. Okay, so here we go. I just finished this round, so let's do one more round together. Okay, and then you can start seeing that repetition happening I was talking about. So in this round, the next one would be 1 single crochet in 4 stitches. Do you see what I was talking about? It is the same style of pattern, just 1 extra stitch per repeat, right? So let me remind you again. We started out with 6 single crochet stitches, then we did 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, then an increase. The following round, and then repeat that, right? Then a following round, it would be 1 single crochet in 3 stitches and an increase. Repeat that. And then in this round, we do 1 single crochet in 4 stitches, and then an increase. Okay, and then you repeat that one more time. So each round has 2 repeats. Okay, you're going to continue that pattern until you see 1 single crochet in 11 stitches. So that's how far you're going to go. Okay, so that is the outer ear. Now, to be clear, you're switching colors from black to orange after round 7. So round 7 finishes with black, then you go into orange. Okay, and then the rest of it is orange. And then you make obviously the outer ear twice. Okay, and then you're done with the outer ear. Look how easy that is. Okay, let me snip this and I'm going to show you now the inner ear. Okay, again, it's just as easy. So the inner ear, I need to actually flip here so I can see everything. So the inner ear is going to be a chain of 12. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now you're going to start from the second chain from the hook. I personally like to go into the back bump and crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. Let me remind you where the back bump is. So if you're looking at the chain, most people look at it in this direction. You're going to see the front loop, the back loop, and if you turn it around slightly, you're going to see that back bump right there. And that's where I like to go into. Why did I do that? Because now if I do that, the bottom looks just as pretty as the top. So you see those pretty V's right there. That way it doesn't look funky on the bottom and pretty on the top, right? The entire thing looks pretty that way. Anyways, in this specific row, you're just going to do 1 single crochet per stitch until the end, and then you're going to turn. So this part of it is not done in rounds, but it's done in rows, okay? So I'm just going to finish this row up right here. And then we're going to turn. I want to remind you again that although this is a video tutorial for the fox, the written instructions are currently only available in the ebook. So make sure you check out the ebook. It looks like I forgot to put my little picture up. There's the picture, okay? So if you want to grab the written instruction, which are made in large font, then grab the ebook. You have the QR code and the link with the coupon code up there. So you can grab it at any time. Therefore, you have the written instructions for this as well. Okay, so once you have row 1 done, we're going to go into row 2, and that is the one you're going to repeat over and over again, okay? Because here you're going to start with a single crochet decrease, a regular one, no invisible one. For rows, I do regular ones, and then for rounds, I do the invisible ones, okay? So here we go. So you're going to pull up a loop on the very first stitch. I don't do chain of ones, okay? And then I'm going to pull up another loop on that second stitch. So you have now 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. That's your single crochet decrease. Now you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch until the end. Then you're going to turn and repeat this row, which means this row, the instructions are saying 1 single crochet decrease, and then the rest of the row is going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. Then you turn and repeat. You do this until you pretty much have 2 stitches left, and then you decrease over those. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you the decrease one more time. At the beginning of every row, you're going to pull up a loop on the first stitch and pull up a loop on the second stitch, and then yarn over, pull through all, and then the rest of the row is just going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. So obviously you're decreasing 1 stitch per row every row until you're end up with 2 stitches left, and then you do a decrease on both, and therefore you have a tippy top, and it turns it into a beautiful triangle. So let me show you how that looks like on the actual fox. So right here, obviously that is done in white. So the outer ear back here is done in black and in orange, and then right here you have the inner ear. I call it the inner ear. You can call it whatever you like. I just thought it was easier to understand, inside, outside, you get what I'm saying, right? So anyways, I mean, technically the hair of the ear, but you know what I mean. So this white part right here is then sewn on top. Obviously, it's a beautiful triangle that should fit. If you see it not fitting, here's what I would recommend doing is I would add more rows or rounds better to the outer ear until it fits perfectly. So if you have, let's say your tension is a little bit different. Okay, I do want to point out that sometimes when you don't feel well or you feel different than the previous day, your tension may be different on your project, even though you're using the same yarn and the same hook. Okay, sometimes we crochet a little tighter and sometimes we crochet a little looser. For example, I crochet looser on camera because my arm is resting against a table, so usually that means that my muscles don't work the same as if I hold them freely, so my tension is looser on camera. So that can happen to you too. So if it does happen, and let's say your big piece right here, the inner ear is a little bit bigger than the outer ear, then just add an additional round to the outer ear and you should be good to go. Okay, Diana, I mentioned at the beginning, and it's also in the comments, I use a 4mm crochet hook. Anyways, Peggy says clever trick technique on the decrease. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Okay, so now that we've finished the ear parts, let's talk about how you would sew that on. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is once you have your arms extensions done, that's when you add this. Okay, don't add these first and then the extension later. You want to make sure the extensions are even on each side. Then you're going to add everything else. Okay, it is much better for yourself. That way you don't have any problems in terms of making sure everything is even or looks a little off. You don't want it to look off. Okay, so always have your extensions. These are called the extensions where the air pumps are in. Have them done first, then you do the ears. Now in terms of where to add the ears, okay, so if you count here the rows, and if I can feel it right here, so this will be rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe, let me feel this, round 4 or 5, that's where I added it. So what I did is I literally just pushed it through. So right here, let me count actually from the inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I went through the 5th round and I squeezed it through. Let me see if you can see it, between 2 double crochet stitches. So I kind of spread them a little bit and then I pushed this guy through, and then once it was through on both sides, then I pushed the ear, or added the ear on top of it already assembled, inner and outer ear together, put it on top, and then I sewed around it in, I guess, like an oval shape, if you want to call it that way. Do not sew it together back and forth like this direction. No, 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 no. It's in a circle, like flattened circle, which would be an oval, right? So you go around it like this, okay? Because you want to, first of all, you don't want to go through this guy, right? You don't want to poke that ever. When you are sewing anything on for this hat, please use blunt needles, not pointy needles. If you are poking this mechanism, it's not going to work anymore. You can't put tape over and make it work. The pressure needs to be there in order to make it work. So tape is not going to fix this, okay? So make sure you're not puncturing this. So anyways, once it's on there and you sewed around it, you make sure everything is even on both sides, and then you're good to go. Then you can test it out. Make sure you don't bend this, because just like a hose, it wouldn't move, okay? So you want to make sure it's flat, like straight, and then this guy is moving, okay? Now obviously I'm holding it down over here, so it's hard to show, but it's moving, okay? So anyway, so let's now focus on the nose, or should I say snout part of it. So we have a little bit of a color change happening down here, and then the rest of it is very straightforward. Trust me on this, okay? So let's see. I'm going to move this to the side so I can show you how to get started on those color changes with this snout. So I have here yellow, because orange is very close to red and very hard to see, okay? So I'm just going to use yellow and pretend that the gray would be the white and the yellow would be the orange, if that makes sense, okay? So that's how I'm going to do it. So we're going to start with white. For me, that's gray over here. And we're going to start again with a magic ring. We're going to pull our loop through. We're going to make a chain of 1. By the way, I'm looking over here because the written instructions over here, and I do not have it memorized, okay? So I always have to check. Okay, so you're going to start with, let me see, 6 single crochets to the ring, and then you're going to close the ring. We're going to do continuous rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remember that chain of 1 does not count as a stitch. Then you're going to close this up. You're going to use your stitch marker. Let me check if I did that with a, yes, I did it with a stitch marker. Okay, so stitch marker. And now we're going to go into the next round, and we're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. So here's 1 and a second, and we're going to go all the way around and repeat that. So 2 single crochet stitches per stitch, which means we're going from 6 single crochet stitches to 12, because 6 times 2 is 12. So yes, when you do crochet, you do some math. I know you always think, oh, I'm done with math in my life. I doubt it. How many times do we use math in our life, right? How many times? We always say, oh, you're not going to use that later, and then it comes up, right? Anyways, it's good for your brain to do some math. It's a very, very good thing. Okay, sorry, my nose is a little bit tickly. I don't know why right now. Okay, so we're now going to go into the next round. So this is where the color changes start happening, okay? So you're going to, first of all, get your yarn ready. I'm just going to use here yellow, as I said, for the orange. The thinness is a little bit different here. All right, so you have your slip knot ready, okay? So what you're going to do is, there's 2 different ways in how you can change colors. It's the same way. Don't let someone trick you, okay? So I'm going to show you the way that usually that trick is done, and then you're like, okay, it's different. No, it's not, okay? So what they do is they pull this through, and then they reinsert their hook right here, and that's where they put the color through. That's the same thing as finishing that stitch with that new color. Because here, what I'm doing right now is then pull this guy out. And it's actually extra work to do it that way, but you can do it that way if you like. But anyways, I'm going to show you the other way later when we change back, okay? So I like to drop my, in this case, gray, so it would be white. And we're now going to go and crochet the next round for a few stitches with the orange. Again, that's for me yellow, right? So we're going to start with 1 single crochet, and then it's 2 single crochet stitches. So again, I dropped the gray over here, and we're now going to do this repeat 1 more time, okay? So 1 single crochet stitch, and then 2 single crochet stitches. Now here's where we change the colors back to the gray. Okay, so here's what I do. Usually I make sure that my yarn is first of all not tight in the back here. You can use bobbins if you like, but I'm just going to switch it back. So here's how to do this. This is the exact same way, just without pulling that yarn back out. So when you do the very last yarn over pull through, you're going to do this in a new color. Okay, so just simply pull this through. In the back here, you want to make sure it's not super tight. Okay, so have a little bit of a loop there going on. And now we're going to continue on this pattern again. You see how the color change happened really beautifully. And then you just drop that yellow. It looks like Jay Sands got the ebook. She couldn't resist. Woohoo! I'm so happy for you. Okay, so now let's continue this pattern of this round in gray. Okay, so this will be 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet stitches. Dawn says, is that your cute son wearing a fox hat in a short video? There, yes, I have 2 sons actually. You should see both of them in that video. On social media, I added both of them. Check, if you look closely, you'll see it's 2 sons. I have 2 sons. Yes, both of them demonstrated the hats for us. Yes, I forced them to do it. They're turning 21 and 23. No, 20. Wait, how old are they? I don't remember. They're turning. What are they? They're 20 and 22. Yes, they're turning 21, 23. Wow, they're getting older. Okay, so let's finish this up. They're very tall, you guys. If you look closely in the video, you're going to see that they're actually, like, you would be like, why are you from the top down? First of all, it's because they're gigantically tall. Okay, I'm the smallest in the house, and I'm 5'7". They're by 6-ish, right? They're 6 feet and taller. So anyways, they're on the ground. I told them to kneel down. If you look closely, you can see their shoes on the back. So if you need a good little laugh, there you go. Okay, they're on the ground because I'm too small. I'm standing. My hubby is filming me, but they are on the knees. Okay, so now that I finished the round, just like I just mentioned, okay, we're now going to switch back. Penny also just got the ebook. Woohoo! I'm so happy for you. Okay, so we're going to switch back to the, in my case, yellow, which would be for you, orange, okay? So I'm going to pick it back up. So again, don't make this too tight. It's going to bend it too weirdly. So I'm just going to pick it up, drop my, in this case, gray, and pull this through. I adjust here the yarn on the back, just a hint. Okay, you can move up your stitch marker right here, so that way you know you're in the next round. Okay, and then we're going to go in the following round, which is one more time with color changes. Okay, so in that round, you're going to do 1 single crochet in 2 stitches in this, you know, for me, yellow, and you, it would be orange, and then 2 single crochet stitches in the following stitch, and then repeat this one more time. So 1 single crochet in 2 stitches and 2 single crochets in the following. During the last yarn over pull through, you're going to drop this and pick up the gray here one more time and pull that through to finish up that stitch. And then you're going to go into the next stitch and you're going to repeat the pattern you did, just this time in gray. Okay, so 1 single crochet in 2 stitches and 2 single crochet stitches in the following. Then again, 1 single crochet in 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet stitches in the following. And there should be 2 more times over here because that is 4 repeats for the gray. And then we're actually going to stop using the gray. So at that point, you can cut it and weave in your ends, because at this point right here, we're just going to continue with, for me, it's the yellow. So I'm going to cut here my gray so that way it doesn't bother me. Oh, my nose is so tickly today. Okay, so move this guy to the side. And now we're going to pick up our, well, for you, it's orange. For me, it's yellow. Come on, yellow. And pull this tight a little bit, and now we're going to continue with just this color. Okay, So what you're going to do is you're going to go in rows now. Okay. So you're just going to use the part where it's, for me, yellow, for you would be orange. Okay. So the pattern literally says, now in orange only, in rows, cut white, weave in, and the next part is going to be in rows. Okay. So we're going to do 1 single crochet per stitch for just this section, which would be 8 stitches. Okay. So 1 single crochet per stitch, and then you're going to turn. Okay. So at this point, turn, and we're going to do this. I'm going to do here 1 more row, but you are actually doing, let me check, 11 rows in just 1 single crochet per stitch. That's what you're going to do, 11 rows. Okay. So, and at the very last, and that's what I'm going to do in the next round here, row here, I'm going to show you what to do. So pretend I just did 11 rows of just single crochet stitches. Okay. So now at this point, you would be in row 12. So row 12 is going to be slightly different. We're doing those extension parts, which look like eyebrows. Okay. So here's how to do this. You're going to do a chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay. Then you're going to go and do 1 single crochet per chain. Again, I like to go in a back bump. It's prettier that way. Trust me. Okay. And we're just going to go 1 single crochet per stitch all the way back. Okay. Tracy has a question. So let me see if I can answer it while I'm crocheting. So the yarn went across the back. So it looked like, are you covering the yarn with the stitches? No, they're just hanging there. But they're a little bit looser, right? So you can see it's not tight. So therefore, it's not going to do some weird business on the back and make some kind of crunchy business. You don't want that, right? So a little bit looser here on the back. No, I just did not carry it. I just, pulled it over. So you're not going to see that in the end. So it's fine. Okay. So dropped it, picked it back up. I did not carry it. Okay. So anyway, so now let me continue this little tiny extension right here, which is one of the, let's call them eyebrows, just to, clear it up. Although it's technically not eyebrows because foxes don't have eyebrows. They just have a different color at that section, which kind of seems to be splitting up the eye from the forehead, I guess, if you want to call it that way. It's technically not eyebrows because they have hair all over, right? Let's be clear. They usually have a color change happening at that point. So I'm just displaying that with this eyebrow just to make it look like that, okay? I'm trying to make it easy for you. Okay, so once you finish that little extension, then you're going to do 1 single crochet per stitch across those 8 stitches that you have. Ooh, I just split my yarn, so let's go back and not do that. There we go. And anyways, once you hit the back of it, now you need to do the extension on the other side. But you can't really do that with chains. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but it's going to make it taller. And what do I talk about? What do I mean by that? Here, we started on the bottom with the chains and then went back, right? If you would do the chains now, it would be higher. Like in terms of like when you sew this on, it's going to make this one eyebrow higher than the other. We don't want to do that. So what you need to do here is you need to do an extension that is done in the chainless foundation chain. So let me show you how that works, okay? So once you have your very last single crochet done, you're going to insert your hook back into that same stitch. Do you see that? Right here. So where you made the single crochet, you're going back into it. So you're going to pull up a loop. That is your chain of the chainless foundation chain. Now you're going to do a yarn over, pull through, and now you're working on the single crochet stitch. You see that the chain is down here, and now you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through. So you made a chain and a single crochet on top. So now we need to do 10 of those in total, okay? So you're going to go back in here in that chain that you have just made. Make sure you know where your chains are, that one. Now you're going to pull up a loop, and that is going to be your new chain for the next stitch, okay? So remember, this is the chain. Now yarn over, pull through. So see, the chain is on the bottom, and now you're working on the single crochet here at the top. Yarn over, pull through. So again, go into the chain you just made. Yarn over, pull through. You made a new chain. yarn over, pull through, and you're now working on the single crochet stitch, right? So I'm gonna do this one more time, but you are doing 10 in total, okay? Let me know if there's any questions on this part. So again, you're gonna go through the chain. Make sure you go through 2 loops so it looks pretty, okay? 2 loops. See that? It's 2 loops on that chain. Yarn over, pull through, okay? You made a new chain, yarn over, pull through, and now you're working on a single crochet stitch. 2 loops, yarn over, pull through. You see that? Okay, so that is your little extension. So now you can see that they're in the same height category, if that makes any sense. It's pretty cool, okay? So once you're done with your 10 on each side, obviously, then it's a matter of kind of bending it down. Let me show you how that looks on the real fox so you can see it a little bit better. So now what I did after that is to sew it on. You sew on the white to the white and then the orange to the orange, but you are pushing it kind of inward a little bit. You give it some volume, okay? So it is not in a flat way. So remember, this is made flat. You're now rounding it a little bit, okay? So when you're sewing it on, you're rounding it a little bit. Round it, and then stuff as you go, okay? So you're going to sew this on, and then you're going to sew this on. When you're done with the sewing part, you're going to add a little bit of a nose tip right there. Boop! Add that on top, and then add the eyes right underneath the eyebrow section right there, and then you are done, okay? So let's see. Louise says, I have seen this before, but it wasn't explained very well. Thank you for making it look easy. Yay! I love it. Okay, so are there any questions about the snout? It looks harder than it is. You probably just noticed that. Like, once you actually make it, you're like, oh, that's easy peasy. I can do that, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What did the fox say? It's easy for you. Anyways, so once you're done, you just make sure that you stuff it as you go. So therefore it's, actually has some volume to it and it looks like an actual fox, right? Okay. And then you are pretty much done with the fox. All you got to do in the end is put it on and enjoy the journey of making people smile with a moving hat. Ta-da! So let me know if there's any questions. I feel like this one was very easy, although probably, in my opinion, is, or maybe I'm wrong, but you probably looked at it and it's like, oh my gosh, that looks hard. And then when you really actually do it, you're like, oh, this is not that hard. It's actually pretty easy, right? Do you stuff the snout? Yes, I do, Brenda. I just mentioned that. Stuff it as you go. Stuff it as you go. Doo-doo. And yes, it is stuffed. There's some polyfill on the inside. Now, hey, just now that I'm thinking about it, right? Why don't you add a little squeaker into it if you wanted to, right? You want to make it a little special? And if anyone wants a link, let me know. Send me an email if you want a link to these squeakers, okay? What you can do is to put a squeaker inside here. Right? So you not only have moving ears, you also have a squeaker in the nose. There's enough room to put this guy in there, right? And then you have a little squeaker. Now, obviously, make sure it is in some kind of direction where you can actually squeeze it. So if you want to squeeze it in this direction, where you do this, well, then you add the squeaker that way, right? Let's see. Peggy says, can you explain the pump and washing? Yes, you can take it out. That's pretty much sums it up, okay? And in fact, you can see it, right? Ta-da! Okay, it is not attached permanently. You can take it out and you can also pull it out of here, right? Pull it out. Make sure that your stitches are not super tight and then you'll be able to pull it out, okay? Pull the entire thing out and pull it out of here and then you can wash it. Now, be aware, I'm saying it again, there's polyfill on the inside. So you would treat this just like you would an amigurumi, right? So make sure you remember that there's polyfill on the inside, and remember there's double crochets on the back right here, which makes it a little bit bigger in terms of the holes. So the polyfill might come out. So what I would recommend is you obviously take out the air pumps and you are putting this guy into some kind of bag. We have those bags, the wash bags for like elegant stuff or your, undergarments or something. You put it in a baggie and wash it with that. So that way your polyfill doesn't go all over, if that makes sense. Let's see. Rebecca says, did you explain the basic hat and extensions? I missed a few minutes at the start. I talked about it. So the video tutorials are already included in the written pattern in terms of how to do the hat part and how to do the extension parts. That's already included. I didn't want to make another video that would make you bored, right? You're like, why are you making 2 videos? That's silly. So you already have a video tutorial for the hat and the extensions because we did that in a mystery crochet along for the witch hat. So it's already included. You just have different color changes. And I did talk about that at the beginning, and you're welcome to watch the replay so you know exactly what I was talking about, okay? But yeah, once you then just put it on, then you're all good. Louise says, if you have some yarn scraps, you could use them for stuffing. Yes, you can totally do that as well if you like. Tracy says, I put the polyfill inside a nylon stocking. That way the polyfill stays in place. Yes, you can do that too. Just make sure that it is not a tight one. You know what I'm talking about? You can overstuff a nylon bag and then it's hard, like it's kind of crunchy and it doesn't move, it doesn't shape. So just make sure it's shapeable, right? That way it actually looks like it and you don't have weird air gaps, if that makes sense, okay? But yeah, so and then you're done with the fox hat. Yay! I'm so happy. Okay, my nose is so freaking ticklish today and I don't know why. Okay, that's what the fox said, right? Anyways, okay, so now that we talked about the fox, let's talk about all the other ones because I have this feeling you want to see those as well. Am I right? Especially if this is the first time you're seeing all of these. You're like, Nikki, what about the other ones you've been talking about? Yes, happy to do so. So let's go through it. So this is the witch hat I was just referring to. Okay, so we have 3 video tutorials included for the witch hat. That is currently available for free on my website, free to view, not to download or anything. So you would have to get the ebook for now if you want an ad-free printable version, unless you're in the Crochet Club. This guy is also in the Crochet Club, so you should be okay with that if you're in a Crochet Club, but that's the only one out of this collection that is available there. Okay, so Rebecca says, what row is the eyebrow sewn on? Oh, that's a great question. I mean, personally, I don't think it matters too much as long as your tension is good. Actually, let me go back first just a second to answer that question. So your tension might be different than mine, right? I don't want you to overstretch this guy if you feel like I need to hit that round that or row that Nikki's did, right? In this case, you just do it as you like. So you attach this. The most important part is white on white over here, white on white, and then the rest of it you just sew on as you go. Okay, I didn't count specific stitches to hit. Okay, so but if you want to know, I went over here kind of in a kind of like a curve, right? So this one would be, if you're counting from the bottom up, the orange rounds will be 1, 2, 3. It's above the 4th one. So around the 5th one, that's where I added it. Okay. But for you, it might be the 4th one. It might be the 6th one. It really depends on your tension in this direction right here. So if your tension is looser, it might be higher. If your tension is tighter, it might be lower. As long as it looks good. Okay. That's the most important part of it. Okay. So now let's go back to the other really, really fun moving hats. Anyway, so this is the witch hat. Let me show you the other ones, okay? This one right here is the zebra. We talked about the zebra yesterday, so if you missed that part, you may want to watch the replay, okay? So we talked about how to do the ears, the eyes, and the snout for the zebra hat yesterday. So we also talked about, of course, the color changes there as well. This one is a really fun and popular one. Everyone loves the zebra because it looks like a zebra. Actually, that was really my point when I made all of these hats. I wanted to make them look as realistic as I possibly could. This is the turkey hat, also extremely popular. Now for me, I didn't connect the feather parts of it together, but you are welcome to do that if you want. With some kind of fishing wire or something that is clear, you can connect them together and it makes the entire thing move. Mine have polyfill on the inside to make sure that they stand up. You do want to make sure when you are sewing it on, do not squeeze the bottom of the feathers together, right? You need to sew them on in an oval shape. It needs to stand. If you squeeze them on together and then sew it on, it's like a flat piece of paper. It's going to fall over. It needs stability. So sew things on in an oval shape like this. You can even add some wire into it if you know a child is not going to mess with it. If you want to add some wire into it, it's going to make it stand up too. Maybe even, you know, plastic canvas, but I think polyfill with wire is probably the way to go to make sure it stands up nicely. And then you just use the wire and connect them all to each other on the below it. I do want to point out that the washing part may be a little bit difficult if you do add the wire to it. You know, wire is not good with water. It's, you know, metal can rust. So I didn't add it. I just added polyfill on the inside, and then on the bottom they don't have polyfill in it. They just have the moving mechanisms. Okay. So now let's go to the next one. This one is the only one that uses two different types of yarn weights. So this one uses number 6 and number 4 yarn, because this one we wanted to make it nice and floofy. Okay, so this is the sheep or lamb, however you want to call it. I don't care. For me, it's a sheep, but if you want to call it a lamb, you go with a lamb. Okay, so anyways, it is super cute and adorable. It has bubble stitches on the top all the way around, and the only part that is done in worsted yarn would be the gray and the black. The rest of it, everything is white, and I added some human makeup to it, which is the blush part of it. You could crochet that part, but I thought it would be cute to add a little bit of blush like that. It's the same blush I have here, right? So it makes it cute and adorable, and I think it turned out great. Peggy says, let's see, sewing on, what's with the matching yarn? Peggy, I don't know. I don't understand your question. What do you mean by matching yarn? I need to know what you mean by that. Are you talking about this guy right here? I said white, you know, white with white and then orange with orange. Is that what you're talking about? That's what I did. I just made sure that the white is on top of the white and then the orange is on top of the orange. That's all. I just, you know, I don't know if that's what you mean by the matching yarn. I'm not quite sure. All right. Patty, excuse me. Patty just got the ebook too. Woohoo! Oh, I turned this off too early. Yay! This confetti's for anyone who hasn't seen confetti for themselves. There's several of you guys who got the ebook. This is your confetti. All right. Now let's go to the next hat, which is this guy right here. A very, very popular one, which is the scarecrow. This scarecrow is actually inspired by my own pattern. I already had a scarecrow pattern, and it's in the crochet club in our membership, and it's a doll. I was like, ooh, this doll would be fun as a hat, and so that's what I did over here. It has, you know, an orange t-shirt on, right? It has blue pants. It has some patches on there, just like, you know, an actual scarecrow scaring things off. It has like hot patches all over, and it has brown shoes, and it has straw, right? The yellow part is the straw for the hair, for the arms, and for the feeties, right? Because why? You are stuffing a scarecrow with straw, right? In order to make it look human-like and scary, right? And then the arms are the ones flopping up and down to get rid of the crows, right? Am I right? The yarn is used to sewing. Yes, you would match the yarn. So if I sew on orange, I would use orange yarn. If I sew on white, I would use white yarn. Yes, Peggy, I would match the yarn. So you don't want to make sure, you don't want to have the white on the orange. That would not look pretty. So yes. Anyways, let's go to the next one. This one is the robot. One of my favorites, which is why I put it on the cover. I just love it so much. It looks like just like a robot. And the arms, if you want to call them arms, you can call them levers, right? Turn on the robot, turn it back off, however you like to do it, right? It's kind of cute and adorable. It has its, you know, little waves here at the front as the mouth, right? Like just like a robot does, of course. In my opinion, it does. You want to know how that it's working, right? For me, it's like an old-fashioned robot, right? I know the new modern versions in movies, they don't have that. I know. But in my version it does, because you gotta make it look like a robot. Otherwise it looks just like a gray hat with some googly eyes. Anyways, it has some antennas there on the top, which is super duper adorable. I love it. If you want to just put one there, you can put one. I wanted two because I have an alien that has one. And I wanted to make sure it looks different. And I actually think it looks really, really cute. It looks like he's moving around. Yes, he is. He totally is moving around, Maxine. All right. Then we have this guy, which is a one-eye monster. I know some of you guys say this was inspired by the movie Monsters, Inc. It wasn't actually. I just wanted a gray monster that, excuse me, not gray. I don't know why I say gray. Green. Started with the same letter. Green. I wanted a green monster with one eye on the front, right? So it just happened to look like the guy from Monsters, Inc. It wasn't the one that I inspired it by. Just that you know. And I used some white for the ears to make them move. They're just so cute. I love it. I mean, this is a really cute one-eye monster. You could add a little mouth below the eye if you wanted to. I kind of kept that away. But you can add a little mouth there on the bottom if you want. You know, like a black line. Add it there on the bottom. Make it cute and adorable if you like. All right. Then we have a really fun one, which is the ladybug. Everyone loves the ladybug. I was originally wanting to make the wings move, but it would have been too big, right? Too many layers. Would have been also very warm. And I was like, what can I make move for the ladybug? And I was like, ooh, it has cute little antennas, right? It needs to know where it's going, right? Like little insects have these antennas so that they can hear and they can feel that they're not bumping against things, right? They can censor things in their environment if there's enemies coming, right? See, the antennas are moving. And I just thought it was so cute and adorable. Oh, I love the little ladybug. It's very easy, okay? All of these hats are extremely easy. They may look hard. They are not hard. I promise you, they're all easy. Everyone can do this, okay? Then we have this cute and adorable horsey. The horsey looks like a horsey. I mean, I made sure it looks like a horsey, right? It really looks a little bit elongated there on the front. That white patch right there really makes it elongated. I could have made it shorter, but I wanted to make it look like it's actually like a horse, right? So we have that snout part there as an extension. It has some polyfill inside, and then it has that white patch right on the top, and then we added some hair there on the top, just like we did for the witch. The hair is done the same way, just obviously much shorter, and it has the ears moving. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. If you want, you can even add more hair on the back. I didn't. I only added it at the top because I have my own hair on the back, right? You know what I mean. You can add more hair on the back if you wanted to. Go for it. I ain't stopping you. Okay, then we have our shark. I know some of you guys wanted some fishies. The shark was inspired by my own pattern, which happened to be a dolphin. So last year I made a dolphin pattern, and this one is inspired by that because someone asked me last year, hey, you made a dolphin. What about a shark? Here you go. You have a shark. So for Shark Week, this would be good. I mean, obviously, all of these are great for Halloween. These are all great as a gift for the holiday season, for birthdays, for just fun times, right? We have carnivals in Europe, which happen in February. So you could even do that, right? Did you know that in Europe or Germany, I know for Germany, I don't know if the rest of Europe does it too. Don't know. But in Germany, we have something called Carnival, and that happens in February. Okay, so that's kind of our Halloween kind of thing. It goes like 3 days. Yes, 3 days. And it's about coming together, having fun, and dancing and eating and stuff. It's not about the candies. But anyway, so we have Carnival in February. So you could wear that if you're in Europe, in Germany. You can wear this in February if you like, for Carnival. Anyways, and then we have this guy, which we just did. It's the Foxy. The Foxy turned out cute and adorable. I love how the snout turned out. It's nice and 3D like. Love it. Okay, let's hop right to the next one, which is the ducky. This one is inspired by my own pattern, which was a chick, because last year when I made a chick, someone was asking for a duck, and I was like, ooh, this would be fun. Let's make a ducky. And obviously you can see that the mouth is kind of standing out, like just like a ducky is. You could obviously, fill this up a little bit if you make it double layered and add some polyfill inside, maybe add a squeaker on the inside to make it turn like an actual squeaky ducky, that would be fun. One for the tub, but in this case, it's for your hair. But anyways, the wings are moving. It has has cute little hair there at the top. It's adorable, it's cute, it's fun, and it's very, very easy to do. All right, then we have this one, another one of my favorites. Oh, I love this one. This one is a dino, although some of you guys might say, oh, it also kind of looks like a dragon. Yes, it was inspired by T-Rex though, which is why it has little arms to be moving around. I will never understand why T-Rex, this big scary, dinosaur, was, so dangerous with its little teeny tiny arms. I don't know, but I guess it was with his big mouth. So yeah, that is my dino. Obviously cute version of that, flopping around with its arms. But if you turn this into, wings, then you have a dragon, I guess. If you want to do it that way, go for it. I kind of like my dino better than a dragon. My brother would appreciate a dragon. He loves dragons. So maybe I have to remake this one, but put like wings on it. I doubt he would wear it. But who knows? All right, then we have our bee, and our bee has a stinger on the back, like my son requested, because he's upset that most of the amigurumis out there do not have stingers. He says a bee has a stinger, so I started adding stingers to my bees. Started specifically doing that for my tissue box cover I did last month. So of course this guy had to get a stinger too. I apologize for the jets flying by. We are close to an airbase. But anyways, so the wings are the ones flying around, moving around. It's really, really cute. Don says the T-Rex has lots of teeth too. So cute. Yes, mine doesn't, but you could totally add some teeth if you wanted to. Because if you have the ebook, you have the shark pattern for the teeth, right? You could use that to get inspired by adding teeth to your dino or T-Rex if you like. Go for it. Rebecca says, love those wings flying. Yes. Hooked by Blair says my dog heard that squeak. Yay. All right, let's do the last one. It's an alien, and you can see this one has one antenna, right? My robot has two antennas. The alien is one antenna, and I happen to use here glow-in-the-dark yarn. So, use a flashlight, light this baby up, and then go for Halloween for trick-or-treating with your kids or grandkids, or just open the door when they say trick-or-treat. Make sure your lights are off so you glow in the dark. Oh my God, that would be fun, right? So yeah, this is a really fun alien. Obviously I made an alien because my hubby likes aliens, or at least alien, stuff that's talked about. He's curious about the stuff. Anyway, so yeah, this is gonna be his hat. I have this feeling he's gonna wear that for Halloween, and if he's not, I'm gonna make him because the kids would really appreciate that when if he opens the door, right? And anyways, it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for Halloween. I usually don't like Halloween, the scary stuff. I'm not into scary, dark stuff, but I do like fun stuff, and this will make it fun and adorable and makes everyone smile. That's way better than scary in my opinion. All right, someone's asking, do you have a monkey? I don't have a monkey, but let's talk about what I do have. Okay, so you just saw 15 hats, so let me show you them all. Okay, these 15 hats are in volume 3, so this is volume 3. I have 3 ebooks with moving hats. 3. Okay, so this is volume 3. It has all of these patterns included. Let me show you what's in volume 2, which you can get at the same time with a deal. So during checkout, you can see this one appear, and it's going to show you. It's like, oh my gosh, if you want more patterns that are moving, you might want to get this. I don't have a monkey, but I guess you can use some of these patterns to, change it up slightly, make it look like a monkey if you wanted to, right? So this is volume 2. You can get during checkout at a deal as well. I also have volume 1, which is a separate ebook. This was the very first one that I had. You can see Santa, a skeleton, snowman, an owl, a penguin. The penguin was very popular. This one, you can see how this is very similar to this guy right here, right? Anyway, so the penguin right here, there was one person that made like 20 something penguins, okay? And like penguin hats, and then she gave it to a class, and they all moved it. Oh my God, it was so fun. And then we have the dog, the cat, we have an elf that has its ear moving. By the way, the Santa, it doesn't have the extension like all the other ones. We have it in the beard. We added a beard, right? And that's where the extensions are in that makes the hat go up, right? For the Santa. Then we have a jack-o'-lantern and, of course, a bunny because, or I don't know if you remember a few years ago, the original moving hat, non-crochet, was a bunny. So this one is inspired by that bunny because, of course, I had to make a bunny one, okay? So, yes, these are fun. So this is volume 1, in case you already had it. This is a couple years old. This is volume 1. You can get that as well if you want. This is volume 2. You can get it a deal when you get this guy. You can get this one as a deal. I highly recommend getting both at the same time so you save more money. Or if you already have volume 1 and 2, you might want to just get volume 3, right? So this is volume 3. So that makes in total, if my math is right, 40 patterns. Whoa! If you have all 3 of them, you have 40 patterns in the end. This is a really fun one. I know I get all the time questions about the ear pumps. Okay, so when you're purchasing the ebook, you're not getting the ear pumps with it. You have to purchase them separately, right? It's just like yarn. If you're getting in pattern, you don't get the yarn automatically with it, right? Unless it says yarn included. In my opinion, that would be called a kit. So no, you don't get the yarn, you don't get the hook, you don't get the air pumps. You have to purchase them separately. But I make it easy peasy for you, okay? So when you get the ebook, I'm going to show it to you. You actually have links included in the ebook. So first of all, the ebook is printable. So if you want to print it out, you can. But let me show you the ebook first before I show you the printable version, okay? So here's my iPad. It usually takes second to load up. Okay, so here's my iPad. So this is the table of content, which is clickable. Okay, so this is very user friendly, large font. Okay, large font, clickable. So you can tap on all of these and jump right to the content. So for example, let's talk about the moving mechanism. So if I want to tap on that, it will take you right over, whoopsie daisy, right over to the moving mechanism. So I have links included. Okay, so that way you can do this. There are some sets where you can get 20 at a time. There are some sets where you can get 4 at a time. It really depends on what you're purchasing, right? So you kind of have to look around. But it's all in one list. You don't have to search for it. You tap that, okay, and then it'll take you over and it will show you exactly all the air pump sets, and then you purchase whichever one you want, okay? So therefore, you do not have to search for the air pumps. You have the links included, so that way there's no searching. It's all easy. It's all made easy for you, okay? Let's see. Patty says, I've been charged for books 2 and 3 and then got charged again for book 3. I have 2 already. Well, Patty, then you might want to email me. Did you click on it twice by accident? I've had that before, but someone by accident clicked checkout twice because they weren't waiting. I see that usually because the timing is like 1 or 2 minutes apart, and someone didn't wait for it to finish and clicked checkout again, and then it's charged twice. Makes sense, right? Because the first one is still going, but the second one is then started. So make sure you email me. If you have a duplicate, I am happy to refund it for you. We refund duplicates, okay? You just have to email me, okay? I can't do this on my end right now, but once you email me, I can. Happy to do that, Patty. You just have to email me. Anyways, so once you're there, you can tap the main menu button up there, okay? Oops, I did not mean to click there. Whoops, let's go back. What has gone on? There we go. Now I can tap it. So there we go. And then you tap the main menu button and you jump right back, right? And I want to show you how the patterns look like. So for example, we just did the fox. So if I tap on the fox, it will take you over to the fox, right? You see how large the font is. This is size 14, very large. And you're going to see that a new link will appear down here. I'm going to update everything by Wednesday and all the new links are added. So you're going to have everything in one, and you're going to see then you have 3 videos available for the fox, right? Everything that is bluish is clickable, and then the main menu button will jump you right back. Okay, so was there another question? Let's see. Let's see. Are you going to have a deal with all 3 volumes? Claudia's asking. Maybe down the road. For now, this is how I have it set up. Maybe down the road I will. For now, they're all separate for sure. But maybe down the road I'll make all ebooks on sale, and that way you can get it at all times. Like so, not at all times, but right in that moment you can maybe get all of them on deal. But for now, at this moment, you can get volume 2 and 3 at a deal. Use that coupon code up there, and you get both of them together at a deal. And volume 1, you can get a deal if you're in the Crochet Club. There's a coupon code in there you can use to get volume 1 on a discount. So Claudia, are you in the Crochet Club? Then you might want to check out the Crochet Club. There's a coupon code so you can get volume 1 on sale as well. So therefore you got all 3 of them on sale at that point, if you are. Okay, so let me show you really quickly how it looks like from this perspective, meaning you are able to print this out. Now, obviously, once you print it out, you can't tap this anymore. It's obviously that doesn't work because it's paper, right? But if you like, you can print it out, right? And you can make it into a spiral as well. I have a video on my YouTube channel on how to do exactly that with all the materials that I used to make this happen. I actually even added like a shiny front part and back part to it. I just pushed it to the back because of the glare, but technically it's on the front, so it protects everything, but you can see with the glare I moved it to the back, right? But yes, you have the entire thing printable, which is pretty darn cool. So you can print the entire thing out if you wish, or you can just use it digitally. It's totally up to you, however you want to use it. Okay. Oh my goodness, my nose. I don't know what's going on today. Let's see. Kelly says, if you do not want to get book 2, let's say you don't want to get it, or you already have it, you need to make sure you unclick it. Yes, that's correct. It literally says so. It says so. I have seen so many of you guys. This is a little shout out for everyone. I know we're in a fast movement. Everything is fast, you know, quick videos, quick entertainment, everything quick. But please do me a favor. When you're reading something, when you're purchasing something, slow down, read what you're purchasing. I had so many people email me because of something happening and they didn't read. Then I show them a screenshot saying this is what it says, and they're like, oh, I didn't read that. Please do me a favor and read it, because you know you're using your money, so make sure you're reading what you're purchasing. Always read first. Okay. I see that so many times. Donna says, what part is free? It is ad-free. It is ad-free. You have one pattern out of them you can watch for, you can get for free. Okay, one of them. So let me show you. Okay, so out of all of these, there's currently one pattern available free to view on my website, and it's the witch. All the other ones are only right now available in this ebook. The ebook is to be purchased, okay? It is a digital file that you can purchase. It's ad-free and printer-friendly, but it's not free. It is ad-free. Hopefully I did not say that incorrectly before. I don't remember, but I usually always say it's ad-free. It's ad-free, but it's not free. Hopefully that clears that part up. Okay, so let me show you kind of this in more of a different way. To understand how really user-friendly this is, okay? So you can see that the table of content is clickable. You can see my little yellow hands right there, right? You can tap things. Anything blue you can tap, so therefore you can jump to the materials, to the videos, etc., or the table of content, or the main menu button. Those are all clickable. You can watch the video, so you can have a visual representation of certain stitches, techniques, or the entire hat, depending on what it is. The font size is very large, so easy to read. And as I said, you can jump around. It makes it very easy and user-friendly. All right, so there's one more question, and then we're gonna hop into the prices. Okay, Peggy says, can we sell the finished hat or hata? I kind of like how you add an extra A. Yes, you can. You're allowed to finish. You're allowed to sell the finished item. So when you crochet it, you're allowed to sell that. You're not allowed to sell my patterns. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But you can gift it too. I mean, someone might appreciate it if you gift it. You have some family or friends in your group, in your environment, they might appreciate a gift, but of course you can sell it too if you wish, or donate it, right, if you don't know someone. Okay, so now that we talked about all of these amazing hats, make sure you use that coupon code up there to grab volume 2 and 3 on sale right now. This is volume 3, our brand new ebook, if you want to get it. Okay, now let's do some prices. Yay, I'm really excited. Okay, so prices. Okay, so we're going to do 2 price questions. We did not reach our 100 viewers, but that doesn't mean, whoopsie daisy, that does not mean we won't arrive at that location next time around. So we have 2 more video tutorials coming your way. Those are free. Oh, that's maybe the question. Donna was asking which part is free. Maybe she was confusing it with the free tutorial. Maybe Donna was confusing with that. Anyways, yes, at the beginning of the video, we were talking about the fox, this guy right here, and I taught you how to do that for free. Yes, but the written pattern is not for free, if that makes sense. Maybe I wasn't clear on that part. I apologize for that. Anyways, we have 2 more video tutorials coming your way in the next 2 days. We have Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time and Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time. If you're in the US, you should be able to convert back and forth between the time zones. And if you're not, then please learn how to do that. It will make your life easier. Trust me. If not, just use Google. Okay. Google will help you translate it into your own time zone. Okay. But anyways, tomorrow's going to be 2 p.m. Pacific time and then Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. What is going to happen on those lives? I'm going to teach you another one of these really fun hats. Okay. You don't know yet which one, but it's going to be one of them on each day. And at the end, we're going to give away some prizes. Yay! I'm so excited. Okay. Michelle says, Rebecca had a question about the size of the air pumps. They should be all the same. I did not see it. Rebecca, I apologize for missing your question. But Rebecca, in case you were asking about the air pumps in terms of sizing, they should be all the same. I literally try to find brands that are all the same. Okay, all of mine have the same size. I've never purchased a set that had a different size. There was one person who mentioned they had a different size, and I don't know how that happened. Not sure where she got it from, but they're usually all the same size. I usually make sure of that. Okay, so let's go to the prices. Are you guys ready for some prices? So let's talk about the prices first, okay? So here are the prices that you have a chance to win, okay? We have 10, 20, or $30 Ravelry coupon code. We have 5 or 10 PDF patterns of your choice. Those are both from my Ravelry store alone. And then you can also get a 10, 15, or $20 off coupon code from one of my 35 different ebooks. You can also win a free ebook of your choice out of the 35, or you can get a free yarn box. Now, the free yarn box is only for those in the US. If you land on you're not in the US, you get an ebook instead, okay? So let me show you what's inside the yarn box, because this yarn box typically only gets sent out a few times a year when our membership, the Crochet Club, is on sale. That's when I send these out for new annual members that live in the US. I pay shipping for that, okay? Because of all the shipping things, I only do US, okay? It just makes it easier for me, also price-wise, right? Then there are like mystery boxes. You don't know what you're getting. You're either going to get the drawstring bag or you get the pouch. That is how it looks like as of right now. It might change in the future. Every time we have one of these boxes being promoted, we change it up slightly, okay? So right now we have this little piece of paper in there, a business card, pair of scissors, you see a hook, you see a pin that says I'm a member of the Crochet Club. You would get this even if you're not, but maybe it encourages you to join us the next time around. It comes with some stickers, a measuring tape that is also a keychain. Boop! And then it also has some stitch markers. It has a tapestry needle, and then it might be one or the other in terms of the keychain right there, which is also next to it is a magnet. So it's either one or the other kind of thing. Okay. By the way, I made all of those myself. Okay. I didn't hire anyone to do that. I did it myself. It was really fun. I was watching TV at the same time. Anyways, also comes with a tapestry needle and then some mystery yarn. I have a little bit of Hirschness yarn left and then some other ones. So that's how the boxes look like right now in case you get one of these. Okay, let's see. Tammy says, can you share the link of the air pumps? I can't do that right now as I'm live, but you can email me. But I can tell you that if you get the ebook, you have the link included. So if you already have one of the patterns available to you or the entire ebook, then the links are included. So you won't need me to tell you where it is because you would already have the pattern. You can also hop over to my website and check out the witch hat, because the witch hat right here, the one that you see down here, is available free to review on my website, and it has the air pumps included as a link. So if you want to check that out first, you can check it out. They're very affordable, okay? They're very affordable, depending on which set you get. I've gotten one set that was $3. I've gotten another set that was $10. It really depends on the demand. So I would recommend getting as early as possible, because the more people getting it, they may increase the price, because if they see the demand going up, they usually go up in price. So think about that, okay? But they're very affordable, as I said. Very, very affordable. They're all plastic. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's go to the actual questions. Are you guys ready? Let's do the quiz questions. Hang on, someone just bought it? Ooh, hang on, Candy. Is that your name, Candy? Yay! I'm so excited that you got them. So happy for you. Okay, let's go to the questions. Okay, we have question number 1. Are you ready? Question number 1 is, what pattern did we crochet at the beginning of this video? If you just won within the last month or so, please don't answer. Give everyone else a chance, okay, to win something. If you just won recently, please don't answer. Give everyone else a chance, and only answer one time per question. If I see your answer multiple times, you're disqualified immediately. Okay, you get one answer per question, please. Let's make it fair. What pattern did we crochet at the beginning of this video? I know you know this question. I know you know the answer to this. Okay, so I'm going to take a sip of water here. Maybe this will help you. My cat is talking to me over here, but hopefully she will not jump up. Stay over there. Okay, so hopefully you guys all know this answer. It looks like you guys do. I'm so happy for y'all. Okay, so I'm going to remove this so we can find our winner, which is going to be random. Okay, random. I close my eyes for this. Haha, you guys ready? Okay, close my eyes, scroll up and down, and no, I don't have a mechanism to do that because it is certain answers only, right? And here we go. Are you guys ready? I'm going to stop right. How about here? We have Michelle. Congratulations, Michelle. Woohoo! All right, Michelle, let's see what you want. The spinning wheel will decide for you/me. However, you got, where is it? Oh, there, $20 Ravi coupon code. Woohoo! You can get several patterns with those. That's going to be a fun one for you. Congratulations, Michelle. So happy for you. Okay, let's go to question number 2. All right, quick reminder though, we have more quiz questions coming your way next 2 days. So come back if you're not winning today. It's fine. We have more prizes to give away. Come back in the next 2 days. You learn something, you have fun with us, you smile, and at the end you have a chance to win something. So come back for that, okay? So question number 2. Make sure you stay till the end, because especially if you have a question or you're one of the winners, you need to know how to contact me. Stay even after this question's over. Okay, question number 2. Name one animal pattern that is included in this ebook, the volume 3, okay? In this one, it says moving creature hats made easy. There's 15 patterns included. Name one animal hat pattern from this ebook. Oh my Lord, I don't like my nose right now. It's so embarrassing having to touch my nose. All right, whatever. My hubby says it's yarn sniffles. Whatever. Maybe it's yarn sniffles. I think it's the light, because I crochet over here all the time. I don't have issues, okay? It is the light. If you ever look that up, it's light sensitivity. It can make your nose tickly. I also have sensitive eyes. If I go outside and it's very sunny, I always have to wear sunglasses. I just can't do it. It hurts my eyes. I have blue eyes, so you guys kind of, for those who have blue eyes, you guys know we're sensitive. Okay, so yeah, light makes my nose tickle. Also, I'm talking a lot, and I have makeup on, so who knows? It's probably a whole combination of all of that. All right, now that I talked a lot, I gave you enough time to do typey. Okay, so let me remove this and let's show our winner. Okay, so I'm going to make sure my mouse is in the right position. Here we go. Scroll up and down and let's find our winner. I'm gonna stop right, how about here? We have Abby! Congratulations, Abby! Woohoo! Yeah, yes, the sheep is one of them. Obviously, there was many of them in there, right? Sheep, fox, horse, right? Zebra. There was plenty of them you could have picked. Okay, so let's see what Abby won. Make sure you stay till the end. Don't go away yet. Okay, we have, it looks like $15 off an ebook that is not on sale. Woohoo! That means you can get in any other ebook. Oh, there's a couple of them that are only like 20 bucks or so. So with a $15 off, you pay only $5. There might be, oh, there's one of them that's $15. So you can get it completely for free. Anyways, it really depends on which one you pick. But congratulations to all the winners. Yay! Okay, so let me remind you of my email address. Don't go away yet. Hang on. Okay, so remember, here's my email address. Please email me all the winners. Here's what you do, okay? Take a screenshot if you like. I would really appreciate it. Screenshot of you winning where your name is displayed, okay? Please, if you send that over, it makes it live for me easier. Take a screenshot of your winning, okay? Put it in an email, and then the subject line should be winner of the price and the date when you won. I need both of those, please. It makes my life easier because I need to confirm you are the winner. You don't understand how many times people claim to be the winner when they're actually not, okay? I confirm everyone. Also lets me see whether you won within the last month or so, because as I said, if you are answering and you won within the last month, I have to disqualify you. So always make sure that you don't answer unless you haven't won within the last month. But anyways, you can also email me if you have a question about this ebook, okay? So, Nicole at nickishomemade.crafts.com. It's Nickis, homemadecrafts.com. You can also use support at nickishomemade.crafts.com. So either way, email me if you have any questions or if you're a winner so you can get your prices. And remember, we're going to go live again in the next couple of days. Yes! And let me remind you really quickly why this ebook is so cool, okay? It comes with 15 ad-free printable patterns that are all moving. I'll show them to you in a second again, right? They come with more than 9 video tutorials. You have the video tutorials, a material list, clickable, right? The table of content is clickable too. The main menu button is clickable. It makes it very user-friendly and easy to follow along. And the size of the font is large, so it's easy to see back and forth between your crochet and your pattern. Very easy, okay? It's a digital file you can download and then you can print if you like. It is a pretty cool product, and here are all the hats if you want to know. There we go. These are all the hats in volume 3. These are extremely popular. They're kind of gone viral again. I've said I had volume 2 last year that went viral. We had volume 1 the year before that went viral. So yeah, these have definitely viral potential. And it's not just the patterns that have gone viral. It is also when you make it yourself and gift it to someone, sell it to someone, whatever, donate it. These go viral. People have not seen many of these done in crochet. I'm the only designer who has crocheted and designed these moving hats. Nobody else has with the air pumps. So if you want to get one of these, then go grab this ebook. It is an amazing collection, but it's only on sale until Wednesday, so grab it for yourself. There's a link in the description for that. Let's see if I can pop it in to the comments. I don't know if it's still possible because I literally copied it like an hour ago, and sometimes it doesn't let me because it forgets. Okay, let me pop it in. So if you want to grab this, there's a link in the comments now. I just popped it in. On Facebook, you can also just type in as a comment MHE. That's abbreviation, and the automation will send it over to you. Only on Facebook that works. It doesn't work on YouTube. On YouTube is a pinned comment though, so you can tap on that or use the QR code. Either way. Anyways, I'll see you back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time for one more live tutorial, 1 of 2. Wednesday's the last one with more prices. Go get your moving hats, crochet them. Happy hooking. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.